because then it opens him the grounds for a military dictatorship. And that has happened. We have seen that in Pakistan, we have seen that in Indonesia, where Sukarno was removed and Suharto took over, saying corruption, various nepotism, and then took over that. And the same will happen in Sri Lanka. Once a military establishment takes over, the country will be in an unstable situation where none of us would want to live in that state, because we won't want to be under military discipline, to be told do this and do that. Sri Lankans are never that. So what I feel is Fonseca thinks he can wipe out corruption overnight by giving orders, like what he would have done or would not have done in the army. It is not a case of giving orders. Now, I have worked up to 300, 400 people when I was handling a contract in the 80s in the Mahaveli. You can't just give orders even to our villagers and expect them to carry it out. You have to work with them as a team and get the work done. And I think he is lacking in that, working as a team to get a job done and keeping all the people together. All the people of the country. That means not only the Sinhalese Buddhist people, but all the minorities. All should be with the leader. And Mahinda was able to demonstrate that, how he carried the country with all differing fractions. If you look at his coalition today, it has various fractions where he worked together to keep them all happy, and carried out one intention, was to save the country from terrorism or get rid of the LTT philosophy of dividing the country.
But on the other hand, the opposition claims that unlike the coalition, opposition is where you have diverse parties like the TNA and the JVP and the UNP and also Sarath Fonseca. It is a combination of many parties and there's a common candidate according to them. So it's not what exactly you are saying that way.
No, as I'm looking at it from the point of view, I'll explain to you why I said the two main parties. Now, the Sri Lankan people, as you know, have different groupings. We still vote in certain areas on our party systems and what we have been used to voting for the last 50 years. If I am UNP for the last 50 years, I cast the vote for the UNP. If I am JVP on one side, I cast the vote without looking at the issues. So there, the possibility of an unlikely possibility is there of the what I may call the Sinhalese Buddhist vote being divided among the two people. Very unlikely situation, because that is not what will happen in the villages. I have been working in Galle, and I see the villages are totally with the Mahinda Ramahinda, while the urban environment, there is a division. That is the truth. Then people like this TNA has crept into the situation. Now, if you may ask why the TNA has wants the government, I don't think that because they love Sarath Fonseca better than Mahinda. In fact, they might realize, they know for facts that Mahinda carried out a better saving of the Tamil people by who were suffering for a number of years under the hands of the LTT. He did that, and they will appreciate that. But their main card is to have an unstable government in Sri Lanka. And that is where the pro-LTT groups who are, I have Tamil friends in Australia, Canada, United Kingdom. When you ask them the question, why are these external Tamil friends who were pro-Ilam or who wanted a separate country, supporting Sarath, who was a military man, their main argument is we have nothing to do with the South, but we want the South to be unstable.
But when the South is unstable, how would that help them?
They feel, and history will show you, if in any country, if there is instability in a country, then it is easy to divide the country and foreigners to come in. That's how we lost our independence to the Portuguese, to the Dutch, to the British.
But when you say foreigners to coming in this present day scenario, what exactly do you mean by that?
That is how people have walked in now. How did the United States and the so-called coalition walk into Iraq? Because there was certain amount of division in that society. So they created a puppet and brought him and fixed him up there. As one Australian defense minister said, we went to Iraq for the oil. There is no two words about it. And I can tell you, the Norwegians and others want to come in, so there is a divided country they can exploit. They can use our harbors in the areas like Trincomalee, and then down south harbors, and between the two people they can play out and get us to feed their economies.
So in other words, are you indirectly saying that Mr. Fonseca, they will treat him as a puppet? Is that what you meant?
What he will have to start depending on him. Now we have seen in countries where United States is backing. United States backed fully Musharraf's government, military government in Pakistan. Not only United States, whole of Europe backed it, till he became unpopular. So my feeling is that even if Sarath Fonseca doesn't have a chance, and if he gets some votes from the community and the Tamil vote also, then the world can say, look here, the Tamils have all voted for this man because he has promised us certain things, reunification of the North and the East. I have my own feelings about the provincials. I will elaborate that when the time comes. But I feel this will be the argument. We saw the argument brought by various parties in the case of Zimbabwe recently, where Mugabe's government was condemned, and then they forced two governments. So now it's an unstable relationship between the Prime Minister and the President who is governing Zimbabwe. And under those circumstances, the European business multinationals could creep in there. So the same thing will happen here. While President Mahinda has demonstrated in the last 4 years how we can make use of all these fractions, all these international dealers to our benefit, like what any country with proper leadership will do. If you want to say that, how he made brought money from Iran. Iran was our friend. China was our friend. Pakistan was our friend. But at the same time, we were friendly with India. On one side, we were friendly with all the other countries. It's only the European Union and the United States and Canada who tried to focus this as somewhat of a ethnic war. But the actual war which was there in the last 30 years was there. They were trying hard to divide the country for their own benefit.
But if we could sort of work arrangements and facilitate support from Iran, Pakistan, India, being their friends and getting the best use of them, why can't US and also EU also think about it in the same lines? Why would they want to divide and destabilize the government and sort of creep in, as how you explained? And why would they sort of manipulate the politics on the ground to do that?
Because have you ever seen any other country Have you ever come across what is called a free lunch? No one gives a free lunch. And we have seen that in our aid programs. We haven't benefited by any of this so-called aid. Unless we made the aid to come into us when we want it. Aid has been demonstrated recently by a professor in Africa that aid hasn't done